How do you pronounce it? Is it DAZN? Is there a way to pronounce
DAZN.
DAZN?
DAZN. It's
Oh,
DAZONE. I know.
got it.
Yeah, that's why. That's a phonetically. I spell it phonetically.
Ladies and gentlemen, the champ is here. My man, Sugar Ray Leonard. Grew up watching this man. He was a hero of ours growing up, and it's such an honor to have him in studio with us here at Serious Exam. My brother, how are you, man?
I'm doing
Good to
fine.
see
How
you.
you
Look
doing?
great, man.
Well, I try to maintain and do a work with my boys. Brian Kenny. Uh, it's been wonderful bringing boxing back to where it should be.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much talent out there, and fighting at Madison Square Garden. I mean, that's the mecca
Right, right.
of boxing. And I mean, I fought there, and I don't want to say who I fought because I didn't win. But let's not even go there.
Wait a minute. I don't remember. You lost. I don't remember who you lost to.
I don't remember either.
That's right. No, really, I don't. I'm serious.
No, I lost to Hector Macho Camacho.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
my boy.
Okay.
And Terry Norris. Um, to my knowledge, that's
Okay.
well,
Okay.
The Tommy Hearns fight, the second Tommy Hearns fight,
Okay.
it was a draw, and Tommy Hearns should have got the decision.
Okay. Okay. When you think about you and your career, for those of us who had also grown up watching Ali, and that was in the heavyweight class, you brought welterweight and the attention to the welterweight class that it had not had prior to, or at the time, I should say at the time Ali was fighting, everything was heavyweight.
It was heavyweight.
Yeah,
dominated.
but then when you came along, everybody was focused on your weight class, and it was kind of those were to me the golden days of boxing, man, and all the hype, all the stuff that went with it. We got a little bit of it back during Tyson, but what you did and what Ali did, I don't remember. I shouldn't say remember. There just hasn't been anything quite the same to me.
Well, I think a lot has to do with boxing was on network television, free television.
True.
ABC, CBS, NBC, and so people were able to follow us
Right.
throughout our career, amateur career.
Yeah, that's true.
And then the Olympics,
Olympics,
which was
right,
huge.
right.
Pan American Games was huge. The Golden Glove, National Golden Gloves was huge. So those amateur competitions were big.
Yeah, yeah. So you're gonna be the Canelo fight is coming up. So you're gonna
On
be
Saturday?
You're gonna be ringside.
I'll be ringside, and I'm doing what I love doing, and especially now because of where I am in my in my life. Boxing gave me so much. It allowed me to buy my parents their first home.
Of course, right,
Uh,
right.
uh, and to help people, friends, and just do a lot of good things. Um, I tell you what, boxing is a dream come true for me.
Yeah, yeah. The you miss it.
Yeah, I do miss it, no question about it. If I said no, I'll be lying. Do I miss it? Yeah, absolutely. But what I miss not getting hit,
You don't
but
miss it.
I miss the camaraderie. I don't
Yeah.
miss getting not getting hit, but I miss the camaraderie. I miss the transformation of my body and my mind at fight time, of how it. I mean, it's magical. Uh, I miss the competition.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, and all that went with it. So the zone, I think that one way it's being described is like Netflix for boxing.
Netflix for boxing. It
I like
really
that.
is.
I like
Yeah,
that.
because again, it gives the fighter that opportunity to have the most important platform, which is being exposed nationally, globally, I should say. Uh, Again, it's a dream come true.
And this is a subscription service like Netflix, folks, and then you get all the fights. It's boxing as well as MMA, I believe, right?
Yes,
So you
yes.
get all of that, and again, it's a subscription service, just like here at Sirius XM, quite frankly.
This is where
That's where it's at.
this is where it's at.
That's where it's
Yes,
going
you
now.
know.
I
So
remember
just remember the zone.
the zone. I remember when we started Sirius XM. Well, first XM and Sirius, but all of it started in '01, and I was headed in that direction, and people were like, "Man, you crazy? That's not gonna work. Nobody's gonna do that. Nobody's gonna subscribe to the radio." And I took the leap. and here it is.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where it's at, and now we see that this actually works. This formula actually works.
Oh, without question. And again, there were like people who say, that's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. And the zone has done incredibly well. And people, my friends who are major boxing fans, especially my celebrity friends,
Mm-hmm.
without mentioning names,
Mm-hmm.
they said, "Hey, man, thanks for the zone."
Yeah, yeah, no.
I said, "Well, I don't own the zone
You the
yet."
face. You the face of the zone. No? That's good enough. That's good enough. We'll take that. So you mentioned how boxing changed your life. Tell us a little bit about you and your career, Sugar Ray Leonard. How did you get into boxing? When did you know? When did you first get that bug and know you wanted to be a boxer?
The first time, my first initiation in boxing was I was like 9 years old, and I was not an athlete. Never played any sports. Was a wallflower, and my brother Kenny and Roger, they were athletes. And one day I went down to the boys' club, number 2 boys' club in Washington D.C., and I put the gloves on, and I'm boxing this kid, and this kid said, "Pop!" I said, "I'm good." I took him off.
Right.
And I didn't get back into boxing until I was like 14, 15. And when I moved to Maryland, and I put the gloves on this time, and it was like I found boxing, boxing found me, or we found each other. It was made in heaven. And I wasn't really the best boxer. I was like this, but I trained harder than most fighters. So within a year, I had advanced so far that I beat my brother. I broke his nose a couple of times.
Wow.
Sorry, Roger. But and also I had discipline, and I was self motivated, and I won. I had 150 fights. I lost 5.
That's a lot of fights, man.
That's a lot of fights, yeah.
And you sure did, because I remember all the fights you had.
Man, and you know what? I used to emulate Joe Frazier when I first started boxing. I used to fight like Joe Frazier, and I knocked guys out with my left hook.
Right.
And then Muhammad Ali came into play, and I watched Muhammad Ali talk trash and dance and shuffle. I said, I want to be like him.
Yeah.
And I started dancing, moving, and everything.
I used to love it. You used to do dancing.
Dancing, man.
And you stick your head out. I remember when you.
But you can't. That was very spontaneous when it happened against Duran.
Yeah.
No Monster fight. I stuck my chin out.
Right, you did.
He was hot.
Yeah.
To say the least.
But that was a part of it, because you got if you can beat a guy psychologically too.
Psychologically, yeah.
You and Ali did that.
Oh yeah, and I got it all from Muhammad Ali, who I miss so much.
Yeah.
Because we were such friends, and he was my idol. He's my friend.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, Sugar Ray, you right up there with him. I mean, in terms of being one of the greatest of all time, and we think about the most memorable fighters, of the last century. You right up there, man.
Well, thank you.
With Ali and all the other greats. So, when you think about your career, are there what flashbacks are most common for you? What fights or what experiences play over and over again?
Wow.
For you?
And that's a valid question, because certain fights, like my first Duran fight, my first professional loss, I think of Roberto Duran. I could visualize. I can right now I can smell his breath. I mean, it's that close. It's that deep. Because it was my first professional loss.
Wow.
And it was a fight that because Muhammad Ali always said, Ray, when I fought Joe Frazier the third time, it was the closest thing to death. And I couldn't understand it. But when I fought Duran, when I fought Tommy Hearns, Wilfred Benitez, Marvin Hagler, it was like that. It was the closest thing to death. I mean, you're exhausted, 100 degrees. My left eye was closed shut with Tommy Hearns, but you reach down. We all have that intestinal fortitude.
Mm-hmm.
But what separates us is the ability to activate it.
Yeah.
How much are you willing to suffer to get that, to win? It's so mental and spiritually in that ring, as opposed to just being physical.
Yeah. No question about it. In terms of the spirituality, though, talk to us about that. How did you get centered in that situation? And knowing, that's vivid. You say you could still smell his breath.
Oh yeah.
Being in that moment of crisis, and yet at the same time you got to move quick to get out of it.
Right. I pray, even as an amateur boxer. I pray before the fight. I never ever prayed to win. I prayed no one got hurt.
Is that right?
And I continue to do that as a professional fighter. I make that prayer, say, God, just look over us, and the best man will
You
win.
never prayed to win.
I never prayed to win.
That's interesting.
And that was instilled in me when I was young, when I
Mhm.
was 9, 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I,
amazing.
I when I look back on those things,
Uh-huh.
it brings a smile to my face. It brings warmth to my heart.
Yeah. That's beautiful sentiment. We had a Buster Douglas in here the other day, and you talk about the experience with Duran and his breath. He, of course, his most famous fight was the Tyson
Right.
upset, and he said that when he got knocked down, as bad as that was, he remembers that most, but he
Oh,
said
yeah.
he knew that's when he needed to get it together.
Right.
And it kind of inspired him. Said, okay, because some people, there was a speculation that Mike was not really focused on training, kind of out
Right.
of it. And Buster said, Mark, when he knocked me down, I said, no, this dude is focused. This is
No,
real.
yeah. I did that fight. Yeah.
That's right. You
I
did.
called that fight.
You sure
and,
did.
It was so strange. But also there was a different Buster Douglas that walks into that fight. He was confident. He walked with
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mike wasn't as focused. And when he went down and he got back up, I said, "Wow, this guy's gonna win."
What advice do you have for young people listening who were young like you once and not really sure about it, but might be thinking about going into boxing?
Always, dream the dream and work hard to achieve that dream. There are no shortcuts. And always believe in yourself, because if you don't, no one else will.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's the truth. That's the truth. Sugar Ray Leonard, folks, DAZN, and folks, you can subscribe. Again, they're calling it the Netflix for boxing. The Canelo fight Saturday night. Our man here is calling it. Now, I have to ask you this. So, I challenged, Jerry Cooney's in here. I challenged him. He's scared of me. He don't want to get in the ring with me.
Mm-hmm.
Buster was here. I challenged him. He's totally intimidated by me. So what about you? Would you get in the ring with me? Would you feel safe doing that?
I would hurt you before you got into the ring.
Like now for asking, right?
Oh, we're good.
But no, Jerry and Buster, no, we want no part of you. They don't want no
No,
part of you.
no, actually,
And you know how big they are.
Actually, I don't want. I take the fifth.
You still work out, man? You still stay in shape?
Yes, I do. And I do some things on Instagram. Some of my workouts. And no, I love feeling when I work out. I feel productive in the morning and throughout the day.
Good.
It's a good thing, health wise.
You
Diabetes.
have good health. You don't have any of those other issues.
No, thank God I'm unscathed for the most part.
That's good. That's good. That's good. DAZN, folks, DAZN. And check it out. Check Sugar Ray Leonard out from Madison Square Garden on Saturday night. Good to see you, man.
And be there.
That's right. Be there. Be there at DAZN. Good to see you, man.
Thanks, babe.
You look great, man. Sugar Ray Leonard, ladies
Thanks,
and gentlemen.
brother.
All
Thank
right. Take care.